Hello and welcome back to Garden Glimpses. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about propagation of succulents. So in my case today I have a couple succulents that are getting a little bit too long and leggy. You can see a couple examples here where they weren't getting enough sunlight, so they started elongating and growing towards the sun, which makes them a little bit leggy. They're also in a little bit too small of pots for the size plant they are. So these guys I want to trim back a little bit and propagate into a couple different plants. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So when you have a plant that you want to divide, it's really easy with succulents. What I use, a sharp pair of scissors. You can also use garden pruners, but in this case I'm using scissors. So you're going to take your succulent that you want to divide. Basically snip off the end, the rosette, and I like to basically take off a couple of the lower leaves. You can really just kind of twist them off, but leaving a little bit of the stem that you can plop in a small pot of soil. So I have my soil here. I'm just going to plop that succulent right in there. Now you can wait a couple days to water it. That gives it time to heal up. But then you can just go ahead and regularly water it. After a couple weeks, your succulent's going to start growing roots. So here's an example of one that I did this to, where you can see all this soil here is actually roots. It started rooting down on its own. So it's very easy. It's very easy to divide succulents this way, and they root down really well and pretty fast. So again, just taking the succulent, cutting off a portion, leaving a little bit of stem. You can twist off some of these lower leaves, and then plop it in some gardening soil. You don't want to use a succulent soil, a cactus soil. So now I have this plant here, which you can also take these plants and cut off some of the elongated stem. In this case I did that, and it just makes it a little bit more manageable to take care of if you're not going to use it in a project in the near future. Here's a succulent that I took the top off of, and you can already see some of the new growth coming forth. This was, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. So they grow pretty quick. You can also take the stems that you cut off, and this, you can plop it in soil and it will root down as well and create new succulent plants. So succulents are very easy to propagate. Now with those leaves that I had, I twisted off. This is another way that you can propagate your own succulents. Now with my succulent leaf cuttings, what I've done, I've taken a shallow dish and filled it with a little bit of soil. And basically any leaves that fall off my succulents, or any succulents that I want to propagate with the leaf cuttings, I've been trying out just basically placing them on top of the soil. So you can see here, there's a bunch of different varieties of succulents just sitting on the soil. You'll let them dry out for a couple days before you water them, just to let them heal up. And then I just take a mister and lightly mist the leaves roughly about once a week to give them water, and they'll start developing new root growth. So I'll show you a couple little examples of ones that are doing well. You can see this guy right in there. Okay, yep. There's a couple little plants that are coming up from the leaf cuttings. Here's one where you see the root on top of the soil just coming out of the back end of the leaf. And the reason I have rocks in here is so that if I open the window, the leaf cuttings don't blow away. But let's see, here's another example of ones that are starting to take off a little bit. And then I also have, when they get a little bit larger, I put them in this larger tray, And so you can see there's a cool variegated succulent. Basically, you can see the roots coming right off the stem there. And you want to make sure that the roots are then placed down into the soil so that they don't dry out. Some more little roots. Just place them right down into the soil. And this one's kind of cool too. See, it's such a large leaf, and the roots just come right at the end. So with that, this one started rooting in a couple days. You just want to place those roots directly in the soil. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have fun propagating your own succulents. Have a nice one.